Hi, I'm Christine. I go to the Miami Valley School, and I'm taking a class called Buddhism. The first video I did was about meditation and Trungpa Rinpoche and how I connected with those. The second video, I was I don't know, I guess I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to say. So I was really happy that in class we had time to just kind of settle down, catch up with our work, figure out what we wanted to do. I had time to read The Secret of the Vajra World by Reggie Ray, and there, in the chapter I read, a lot of it, I guess, really spoke to me, so I decided that's what I want to talk about. Basically, the chapter was about a bunch of different lineages from way back then. There are a lot of different names, so I don't want to go through them all. But basically, it was just about the different ways they approached practicing Buddhism. Some of them focused on the Mahayana, some of them focused on the Vajrayana, some of them used a mixture. But one of them that I did want to talk about quickly was the Geluk. And the founder of the Geluk was Tsongkhapa. And basically, he made sure that before his students went to practice the tantric form of Buddhism, that they rigorously studied Buddhist philosophy, that they kept a monastic way of life for a certain number of years, so that they wouldn't go off to practice the tantric form of Buddhism and pervert everything that they may learn. So it's kind of just like you can't expect to just throw someone out, especially in what is considered the highest form of enlightenment, and just expect them to find the truth, because what they will find as the truth probably won't even be it. So I guess I like that idea a lot. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the Rimi movement. And they were kind of considered non-sectarian or without boundaries. There's a passage that I want to read, and I guess after that I'll talk about how I connected with it. First, its proponents understood the essence of Buddhism to lie in the practice of Vajrayana. In addition, they celebrated the fact that the Buddha gave many different instructions and set in motion a variety of contemplative traditions, that is, lineages in which meditative practice is paramount. It was their understanding that each tradition had its own particular genius and its own strengths. The Rimi masters considered the diversity of contemplative traditions not just a good thing, but essential to the survival and health of the Dharma. For in their view, each approach could supplement, complement, and deepen the practice of the others. So basically, I think it was really interesting because it was these masters, the Rimi masters, who, even though they kept to their own lineages, their own way of practice, they still appreciated the other lineages and what they did. It does say like they weren't completely indiscriminate, because they did kind of pick and choose what they wanted to preserve, or like what was more important to preserve. But I think it's still important to see that they wanted to preserve it. They kept like historical documents, texts of these things, and I guess I kind of connected this with the modern world in that. Basically, they understood the importance of it just because it came from the same root. They didn't, say this is better, like our version's better, yours isn't, kind of thing. They still appreciated it. And I connected this with the modern world just because I think of how many religious wars you see. I mean, even if it's like a small, political thing, or if it's like something as big as the conflicts in the Middle East, in which you have literally Muslims fighting against Muslims, they can't come to an agreement because they don't understand that even though they came from the same, like, it's okay, they came from the same root, and why don't they find, the other one essential to theirs, kind of like the Rimis did. It even goes as far as the fight between Muslims, Jews, and Christians in the Middle East. It's each religion they have similar roots or the same one. Yet there's this constant battle between who is right, who is better, kind of thing. But I think it's just interesting if we could get each religion to understand the importance of the other, to accept the other, to see that they are all the root of one thing, and perhaps are essential to the meaning of their own religion or something. That's all I had to say.